In this lesson, we're going to begin working on the clothes. Okay, so we've pretty much blocked in all of the major areas that we need for the character. We've added enough detail for that, except for like some hyper detail like pores and things like that on the face. I believe the hands are pretty much done. You could add a little bit of roughness to the hands if you wanted to. To do that, maybe you could use like an alpha to do that, like this cell alpha 56, and you could come in and I like to go to my brush and then the alphas and texture section, and then set my alpha tile up a little bit higher. And then what you can do is you can drag this onto the hands, and what it does is it breaks up the skin. Okay, kind of gives you that look there. Okay, that's something that we can add. Well, I mean, we're doing it right now, so might as well just go with it, I guess. So it just kind of breaks that up on the hands a little bit. And if you take a look at your own hands, you have kind of this cell-like pattern on the top of the hands. They're pretty rough. Even the fingers have little wrinkles and things like that going across, besides what we have here already. But let's go ahead and let's move on from here. I'm just giving you some ideas on where you could go next on that if you want to take the detail a little bit further on those hands. We'll do that on the face here in a little while. But let's go ahead and start blocking out the clothes. So on this one, we're going to start out with a t-shirt. Okay, we want to create that because I think that having a set of clothes that could be used on a model separately from the main model where we have a coat, there could be situations where the character needs to change a little bit. And so we want to make sure that we give those options if they're absolutely needed. If they're not necessary, don't worry about doing that. It's all dependent on what your needs are for your specific project. So what I like to do at this stage is I like to go ahead and just drop down a subdivision level or two, and just kind of drop this down as far as I can go. I guess subdivision level 1 will work. And I'll come in and I'll start masking off the shirt. And so I'm going to come in with my mask, and I'm holding down Control, and I'm going to click on this and use the mask lasso. And I'll hold down Control, and I'll just kind of come around the neck, and then across the arm, and then across the body. Okay, and because I have symmetry on, it's going to clean this up, and then it's also going to do it on the other side. Okay, so that's one benefit of having symmetry on. Now let's also hold down Control. Let's click on that again and go back to the mask pen, because now I'm going to draw on my mask. I want this t-shirt to come up a little bit higher. Okay, and do something like that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. If you wanted to come down a little bit further on that, you could, but I think I'm okay. If you want to remove some of that mask, hold down Control and then Alt, and then just paint that away. Again, I still have symmetry turned on. I'm going to come down a little bit further, something like that. I want the shirt to appear like it's been stretched out and been worn for a while. Okay, so looking good there. I don't like the way the shirt is coming down around the bottom here, so what I want to do is go ahead and just erase that. So holding down Control and Alt, I'm going to start just erasing that mask. Okay. And trying to get that as close as possible to where I want that to be. Okay, so right about where the pant line is, that's pretty good. All right, now with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and extract this. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Geometry, and we're going to go to, actually not Geometry, Subtool. That's where it's at. So Subtool, Extract. And I'm going to set my smooth to 5, just a default value. The thickness on this, I'm going to leave at 0.02. And then I'm just going to hit extract kind of take a look at that. You can see that that's a little too thick for us. So we don't have to keep that. We can just simply type in a new value here. So let's do 0.002. Let's try that. And let's extract that again. You can see that that's much better. I want to get a little bit closer in on this, so I'm going to zoom in. And it still keeps my settings. And I'm just kind of looking at the collar here, and I'm going to hit extract again. And that's a pretty good thickness. You may go just a little bit higher on that. And so I'm going to just type in another value. Let's do 0.003. And let's hit extract on that. That's looking better. Maybe 0.004. Extract. Okay, that's going to give me enough thickness there that I can actually work with that and kind of pull this around a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and hit accept on that, and that's going to give us our extracted geometry. And notice how it smoothed out the edges of this. Oops, we've got a little bit of something here that I didn't notice before. So let's hit Control Z. Actually, you know what? Let's hit Shift Z 2 times, and let's go up here to our subtools to what we've extracted. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that, and yes. Okay, let's go back to our body, hold down Control and Alt. Let's make sure that we don't have anything else in there. If it helps, you can back up a little bit, and then what you can do is you can hold down Control and then Alt and then drag out from this edge here, and that'll actually help you erase all of that there. I want to kind of smooth out this edge a little bit more, so I'm going to kind of erase some of that mask there. Okay, so that's looking good. Now let's go ahead and extract that again. We should have the same settings, so just extract that, hit accept on that, and there we go. We don't have anything extra hanging out there. All right, great. All right, so there we have the t-shirt. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and just collapse the extract, go to the t-shirt, and I'm going to hold down Control, drag outside of that, so that way we've unmasked what we have there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and rename this. I'm going to call it shirt. Okay, on that. And let's go ahead and hit Shift F. I want to take a look at the polyframes on that. Okay, so we've got nice little edges here. Notice that the border there is on its separate polyframe. Now, the t-shirt is going to have these polygons on the inside as well. So if we go ahead and just hide everything, you can see these on the inside. And what I want to do is I want to get rid of that. And so I'm going to go ahead and hold down Control and click on that. Well, let's see, Control Shift and click on that poly group. And this is going to be the polygons on the inside of that. I don't need that there. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and leave it because, yeah, let's go ahead and just leave it. Let's hit Control and Shift and then just drag outside of that, or click outside of that, and I'll bring it back. Let's go ahead and leave it in there. What I'll do is whenever I'm working on this, I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on back face culling for this. I really want the inside of those polygons there because we're going to pull the t-shirt away from the neck, and so we're going to be able to see down in there a little bit, and it's just going to create kind of a grungier look on the t-shirt. Okay, so once we have that, let's go ahead and go back to our body, and let's actually hit Shift F to turn off polyframe. Let's hide the shirt. And now what I want to do is I want to hold down Control and click outside, and it's going to invert my mask. And then what I can do now is go ahead and hold down Control. Let's go ahead and use the lasso, and then Control Alt, and let's lasso around this arm. That's going to remove that mask. Around the head, that's going to remove that. And then right here on the front, let's hold down Control Alt, and let's lasso around one of the feet and get rid of what's around the foot there. Now we'll have to straighten up that foot whenever we get to the shoes, but we're not quite there yet. So we'll deal with that in a little while. Now I do want to go ahead and add a little bit to the pants. Those are really low, okay, and they really don't cover anything up there. So let's hold down Control and let's paint that in. Whoops, let's actually hit Control Z, hold down Control and go to the mask pen, and let's start to paint in a little bit more of the pants there. Okay, go with whatever style you want of jeans, but I'm going to go ahead and just go with the traditional style of jeans here, something you normally see. Oops, let's not blur that. Let's continue to create that edge. Okay, so something like that. Now I am going to come in really quickly, and I'm going to hold down Control Alt, and I'm going to bring down this draw size. Control Alt, and I'm going to erase a little triangle out from the top here. And what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to create an overlap of the jeans. So I'm separating it at this extraction. Okay. So now with this set, let's go ahead and just take a look here, make sure everything else is looking good. Yep. With this, let's go ahead and extract this. So just like we did before, let's do a thickness of 0.006. So let's type that in, 0.006, extract. I want to see the thickness on that a little bit better, so let's zoom in here. So extract, and that looks pretty good. And we'll hit accept. Okay, so now we've got these pants together here. So now we can come in and we can start to shape those, and we're getting our clothes. Now beyond that, we could even come in and we could get the jacket as well. So let's go ahead and select our pants. Let's rename it to pants. And then let's go back to the body. Let's hide the pants. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and hold down Control. And oops, let's click. And then we're going to lasso. Hold Control Alt, lasso around the feet, get rid of that. Hold Control Alt and lasso right here up to the wrist. And I'm going to go just a little bit further on that. Something like that. That should be good. And then let's go ahead and do the head. Okay. So something kind of like that. Let's hold Control. Let's go back to the mask pen. And I'm going to come in, I'm just going to paint that in a little bit more. Let's take our brush size up some. Paint that in around, and what I'm creating here is now the coat of this. Okay. Now just like we did with the pants, I'm going to hold down Control and Alt, and I'm going to kind of cut out an indentation here. And actually let's hold down Control Alt and then drag straight down. And I'm going to get rid of this center part. Okay. Now what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to create a jacket. Okay, and I can bring it together, or I can keep it apart, whatever I want to do on that. So let's go ahead and extract that. If you want to bring the jacket down a little bit lower, you can do that, but I think this gives us plenty of geometry for that. So let's extract this. And on the thickness for this one, let's do 0.01. And let's extract. That gives us a good thickness there. I think we can work with that. One thing we can't work with, though, is the mask that's right in this area. So extract that, just making sure that we don't have anything extra. Okay, it looks good. And then we'll accept. And then select the coat layer. And we're going to go ahead and rename that. So we'll call this coat. All right, perfect. All right, so now we've got all of these. Now what we can do is go ahead and start working on our next lesson with this. And what I want to do is I want to start working on the t-shirt next. So we'll select it and we'll go ahead and unhide the body so that way we can work on that at the same time. So I'll see you in the next lesson.